Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is a beautiful, snowy, crisp, and cold morning up here in the mountains today. So if you did not catch the episode before this is episode number 6. Go back and check out episode number 5. You would have heard Kendra and I in the evening discussing a storm that was supposed to roll in. It definitely rolled in.
Yes.
So we've got over a foot of snow outside right now, of the lightest powder snow. Absolutely incredible. So the snow is actually leaking inside of the tent right now. The stove jack is wide open. I did have a rope around it. It's since melted away, so it is wide open. There's a little bit of snow coming in. I did crack the door when I was dumping the kettle out, so you guys probably seen a little bit of that. But there's a foot of snow out there. Boomer is almost buried in it, running through the snow out there for his bathroom break.
And it's still coming down.
It's still coming down, so it's definitely not over. It's
Yeah.
probably just starting, realistically. So the tent is sagging with snow. We do have to bang all the snow off. Right now it's doing a great job of holding in a lot of the heat, so we're going to leave it on for now. But we're going to finish up our coffees, which we got right here. And today's going to be pack up day. We just wanted to bring you up to speed with there is a lot of snow outside, so we have to clean off the truck, get that fired up. Luckily, I packed away the rooftop tent yesterday, and we did a general cleanup of the tent with the large items that we weren't going to use overnight and today. So the biggest thing is get the stove burned out, so we're going to let that do its thing for a little bit. Probably put another piece of wood in there while we're packing up pads, sleeping bag, all that stuff, and then start hauling it out to the snowy truck. I'm probably going to start it up and back it up closer to the tent, that way we don't have to go so far back and forth. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do today, so we got to get the metal trunk and fill that full of all the food items, miscellaneous items. Batteries all have to go inside the truck cab, so that'll be one of the last things because it is dark in here. And just kind of chip away at one thing at a time and basically get it all packed up. And then the dreaded tent. We have to take down this large tent, get all the pegs out of the ground, which are almost like textured rebar pegs. So they have ridges on them, so they don't come out of the ground. Well, they're probably not going to want to come out of the ground today, so that's going to be a joy.
Maybe we could use the diesel heater.
Yeah, we could use a diesel
The
heater to
hose
thaw
on
it
the-
out.
if it's
Yeah, I
super
was
frozen.
thinking about that actually earlier. That and a combination of hot water pulling them out really fast. The ones I pulled out of the rooftop tent yesterday, the ground was so frozen that they actually slid right out. I was actually quite surprised with that. They came out with minimal effort. But they weren't touched either. They weren't pounded in any farther than initial. So when they froze solid, and they just kind of popped right out. Usually just give them a good shock. Just give them one little hit and it breaks them free and they come out. But these pegs for this tent are,
Pretty heavy duty.
yeah, they're
big.
textured. So if they're frozen in there, it's going to be definitely diesel heater or hot water or both. So
We'll get her done.
yes, we will. So good morning, guys. And it is also just about Christmas. So if you guys are watching this, you're probably watching this episode after Christmas. But happy holidays to anyone who is watching. And yeah, it's only about a couple days away for us. So that's why we're leaving today, unfortunately. With all the snow, we want to stay, but we cannot because we have holiday things to do at home.
Too much to do and no time to do it.
Yeah, so
Back to the hustle and bustle of the holiday season.
yeah, back into town.
Yeah.
So cheers, guys. Good morning. And we'll catch up with you as soon as we're done with coffee. Alright, so we're almost finished up with coffee here, and we did the old diesel heater sleeping bag trick again last night. So like I said, if you guys didn't catch the previous episodes, what we did is we took our diesel heater and we've been heating our shower stall, which was the annex to our rooftop tent, our propane hot shower. We've been using this to preheat that room, and I got the clever idea to bring it in and jam it inside of the sleeping bag foot end to pump hot air up inside while we're sleeping.
Well worth it.
Absolutely a great idea. So right now I just cranked it up to its max settings, getting really nice and hot because the wood stove is going to die down and we're going to continue packing up the tent. We're actually going to start packing up the tent. But this on setting number 1 inside the sleeping bag, totally worth it. We let our wood stove go out every single night of this trip, and the first 2 nights it was pouring with rain. We didn't use this. We let the wood stove go out totally fine, but the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and last night was cold. So having this jammed inside of the sleeping bag was absolutely worth it, not having to get out and load the wood stove or go through the whole shivering phase of coming inside after having a pee and jumping in a cold sleeping bag. This is definitely worth it. To give you guys an idea, we are running I believe it's a 4-liter tank. It's a very small tank. We've gone through half of that on setting number 1 over 13 hours overnight. So, and we got that plugged into our Jackery battery down here with a 12 volt, and it's been working like a champ. So I got it cranked up to max right now. Just gonna let that do its thing, fill the tent with hot air, and we're gonna start packing up the sleeping bags, sleeping pads, make a little bit of floor space here. Probably load a piece or 2 in the wood stove just to have, you know, it's easy to clean it out in the snow, just dump it out, let it cool down before packing it inside of the truck. So it's getting to be that time to start packing up. We got to get all the snow off the tent as well, so that's going to be
There's a lot.
that's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
So let's get started.
All right.
Alright guys, so as you can see, there is significant snowfall overnight and it is not going to let up anytime soon. So I've got the truck backed up towards the tent. Pender and I got to go inside and smack all of that snow and ice off there. There's quite large icicles hanging off the side because the tent was really hot last night. So we've got the task of doing that. The truck is fairly clean for now. We're just going to leave it alone, drop the tailgate, start loading things in one at a time, and deal with the tent very last, which is not going to be fun. So let's go knock some snow off. Alright, so we literally just dusted snow off of the tent maybe 40 seconds ago, and it's already starting to accumulate on the tent. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of how steady this snowfall is coming down. And we're already over a foot of accumulation out in the open areas. Right here on our table and our bench, you guys can see it is stacked up quite a bit. It's not going to let up anytime soon, so we're hoping these pegs are not frozen in the ground. I'm going to say they're not, because it was rather warm yesterday. In the evening it started raining. The snow would have insulated them, so I'm going to say they're going to come out pretty easy, but we will find out in just a moment. So I'm going to drop the tailgate, get some snow out of there. We've got the camp table to put in flat first, our sleeping bag on top. We've got a metal trunk that we got to get in there, a whole bunch of large heavy items, and we're going to roll the tent up at the very end in a big ball, jam it on top because it's heavy, and that'll hold everything down in the back of the truck. Throw a strap over it and hit the road. So let's do that. All right, guys, we are almost out of the woods right now, just driving down the mountain. Total snow cover out here in the forest. Pretty awesome time. Getting everything packed away was a little bit of a challenge, but it is packed and inside of the truck. So I want to thank you guys for joining us on this multi-day adventure out in the forest, and definitely check out parts 1 through 6. All the links will be down in the video description. Until next time, peace out, guys.
Peace out.
We'll see you in the next episode.